Hi everybody, it's Denise with Divine Soul Astrology, and today we will talk about the new moon in Sagittarius, which happened at 10:21 p.m. yesterday on December the 1st. So today is the 2nd, but there's no worries because the new moon cycles last up to 2 weeks. And this new moon in Sagittarius is a very lucky one. It also shows us what we're enthusiastic about. The energy of the new moon can last up to 2 weeks, as I have said. And this new moon is about, like every new moon, is about a hopeful new beginning. And this particular moon, represented by Jupiter and the planet of expansion, philosophy, higher education, and higher realms, also travel and learning. Sagittarius is the centaur, half man and half target, half man and half horse, rather, and he's always seeking to hit his target. And so this is about something very meaningful to him. Sagittarius rules the 9th house, symbolizing spirituality and wisdom. And with the new moon in Sagittarius, we may know what we want from the wisdom we've gained and the enthusiasm that drives us. So the sun in Sagittarius brings the clarity, and the new moon brings insights about what we're trying to achieve or where we want to go. However, Mercury is retrograde, so it's asking us to step back and reevaluate. Mercury conjunct the moon reminds us to be practical and analyze and avoid being overly emotional or sensitive. So on the 15th, Mercury will go direct. Here is Mercury in Sagittarius, and it will go direct, and we'll have the full moon in Gemini. And any doubts and uncertainties we have will become crystal clear. Yes, and I'll discuss that in the next video. It's very much showing up here for Sagittarius, and then right in this cycle. But once this goes direct here, Mercury, everything will be clear. But right now, it is kind of showing. Kind of where we are uncertain in our life. It can really be. And so on the 2nd, which is today, the moon is squaring the south node in Libra, and it's putting tension for us to leave something behind, possibly possibly relevant to relationships or simply how we relate to others. There's tension with the moon. Here is the moon here, and the north node is here. We have another square, which often causes us to either take action, make a decision, move forward, or do something, right? So here is the tension with the north node right here and the moon. And this is showing us that in order to move ahead, something needs to be let go of. And here is the south node actually in opposition with the north node here. So let's go back to this now. And the new moon is always about moving forward. Yes, it is, and planting seeds for the future. The new moon can bring expansion, and this is the luckiest new moon of all of the year. Some of us will take chances about the things that make us happy, that are meaningful to us. Sagittarius, the 9th house, can talk about divine timing. It can also represent spinning the wheel of fortune for fate and destiny. Because the 9th house is about seeing higher perspectives. It's about seeing that, yes, things can happen. My dreams can come true. This is what Sagittarius can represent when we speak of Jupiter. So for the 12 signs, let's talk about the horoscopes now. And this will resonate mostly with the rising sign. The sun sign will be secondary, and the moon sign, all in that order. So many of you may want to check your rising first and then your sun sign, and your moon potentially last. Your moon will be kind of, they're your emotions, right? Your moon, or what makes you feel safe. So in this case, if you want to see how the moon itself and this 2-week cycle may kind of make you feel emotionally, then definitely look at your moon sign. So let's talk about Aries, the first sign in the zodiac, and the new moon is in another fire sign, and this is favorable, Aries, as Sagittarius, I just said, is a fellow fire sign. The new moon is in your 9th house, so really the whole intro is for you. And so you might be feeling hopeful, enthusiastic, and also that you've gained wisdom in some area of your life. Your ruling planet Mars, where is Mars right now? And where do we see Mars here? Right here is in Leo, another fellow sign, right? And so Mars is in your 5th house of love, parents, and children, creativity, leadership, recreational activities, and entertainment. You have Mars trining Mercury in Sagittarius, and when we see a trine, we always see these planets that are transiting or that are in these signs here in the same element. We have Mars in Leo, and we have the moon and the sun in Sagittarius, and that is the trine. And so this is making things easier because these are all fire signs, Sagittarius, Leo, and then Aries, you are up here. So we also have a trine. We have a trine right here with Chiron, the planet of in your sign, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. Yeah. So here we see Chiron in Aries. Chiron in Aries is about, can be about you feeling kind of vulnerable about something about yourself, or anything that you might have a perceived weakness, or a real weakness, or a real sensitivity or vulnerability. But this, we see the trine here, so with the sun, right? So this is something very good. This is definitely helping you, Aries, in your 1st house of self. And Mars is in Leo, as I said. You have Mars trining Mercury, making it easier in Sagittarius, making it easier for you, Aries, to believe in your hopes and your dreams, in your ideas and your dreams. Yeah, your philosophical ideas, your concrete ideas, whatever they are. And so Mars has formed a trine with the North Node in November, and a sextile with the South Node. Where is Mars once again? Here is the North Node here, the North Node of fate and destiny, and here is the South Node. They're always in opposition, creating kind of a push and pull, balancing, trying to bring balance basically in this lifetime. But we see that here. We see Mars is sextiling the South Node, and here it is. It's actually trining the North Node here. Let's have a look at that here. That was in November, but this is still making it much easier for you to see what needs to be left behind, or at the very least, some sort of lesson in order to propel you toward your best self. So for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and where is Taurus? Yes, Taurus is right up here. And the new moon is in your 8th house of intimate relationships, money, and investments. Things that are hidden too, the 8th house, and transformation or profound change. The 8th house is also right here for you, Taurus. The 8th house is also the house of fears, the house of power, secrets. As I said, things that are hidden, but it can be also the house of ordeals, right? So Venus, your ruling planet, is in your 2nd house of money. We see you here. This is your 1st house where your sign is, and here's your 2nd house. Venus is not in your 2nd house, is in your, let's see, let's have a look at that. Venus is, that is not correct, but let's look at Venus here. Right here, Venus is showing up. I don't know why it says that, but Venus is actually in your ninth house. Yeah, it's in your 9th house here. And so is in your 9th house, and it's joining forces right here with Pluto in your 10th house. This is your house of achievement and ambition. And so, yeah, and so this can be about money, though, Taurus, for you, because Venus does rule money here. It's also about love and self-care, creativity, but this is ruling money, and Pluto may have something to do with money as well. And this is probably what I meant about the 2nd house. Here's Venus, but Venus is actually in your 9th house right here. So Pluto in the 10th house is going to bring you a transformation and change in your career, or how you see yourself in the world. The Pluto's in your house of ambition, career, and status. There could be a lot of change for you, Taurus, with your work, creative endeavors, or how you want to be seen in the world, or your reputation. So let's look at Gemini now. And for Gemini, the new moon is happening in your 7th house. here you are, Gemini, and we count 7 signs ahead, and here is the 7th house for you is flavored really by Sagittarius. So the 7th house is the house of relationships, balance and harmony, and legal matters. Your ruling planet is in Sagittarius. Your ruling planet is here. Mercury is in Sagittarius, and it's conjunct with the sun and the moon. Here it is sitting sandwiched between the sun and the moon, as yesterday. But this energy is not really changing very much, right? Whoops, we're going to see the moon will move into Capricorn, and the sun will definitely move into Capricorn on the 22nd of December. But right here, what we see, Gemini, for you, we see that you know right here what is very meaningful to you. Your planet is retrograde, however. It doesn't mean that it means basically that you could be taking a step back. You may know what's really meaningful to you with Sagittarius flavoring that house, but with your planet retrograde, you might step back and just kind of double check things, right? And kind of look at the details over. And that Mercury can definitely be about that. Taking a step back, especially in retrograde, and taking time to double check things, or really look at details, kind of look at the small print, if you will. It could be about a legal matter. It may be about a relationship. And Mercury is opposing Jupiter in your sign. Here is Jupiter over here. And so when we see your ruling planet opposing Jupiter, Jupiter is actually in your sign, and Mercury is in Sagittarius. So we kind of have a push-pull here between basically between Gemini and Sagittarius, the energies of the 3rd and the 9th house. That's really kind of what's going on here. But this new moon sits in your house of relationships. So this is about expansion. It definitely is. It can be about decisions and looking at things clearly. There may be something that you really want to push forward and expand on, but you might be feeling, Gemini, that maybe that you're rushing things, or that you have to look closer and check the fine print, as I've said. And the full moon in Gemini on December 15th, that's going to clarify everything, as Mercury, your ruling planet, will also station direct. That's going to be very good for you. So for Cancer, let's have a look. The moon is your ruling planet. It is. Here is the moon, Cancer. It's moved a little bit forward today. I feel like it's at 29 degrees today, but this is okay. It is definitely showing us what is going on for this 2-week cycle. So, the moon is always significant for you. The new moon, there's something new and hopeful. Maybe you are starting something new with work, because the new moon is in your 6th house of daily obligations. It can be work. It could be your lifestyle. Maybe there's something changing here that you're kind of excited about since it's in Sagittarius. Maybe something that's very meaningful to you could be. And this 6th house can be about health, work, obligations, and pets. And so you may have taken some time to analyze, Cancer, or you feel you need to, maybe some aspects about your work, your health, or your daily routine, your lifestyle. And the moon trines Chiron. So here's the moon, and here is Chiron right here. And so we see a trine when we see a planet that is in a fellow in the same element. So here we have Sagittarius, a fire element, and Aries is here. And Chiron is the little asteroid that represents our vulnerabilities or our weaknesses, both real and perceived. So you have an understanding, Cancer, that is relative to your talents as well as your ambitions. Things will become more clear for you as well on December 9th, when the moon will trine Mercury. And the moon will then be in your 10th house of ambition and achievement. Let's move forward and let's look at Leo now. And Leo, the new moon is in your 5th house of love, creativity. It is. And so this is your house, Leo, the 5th house, colored by Sagittarius or flavored. And this is beautiful, as the new moon wants to allow expansion in Sagittarius. The new moon is always about something new and hopeful, as it is. But this could be helping you with your creative endeavors, recreational or entertainment interests. may be related to your hobbies, and you may be learning something with regard to those subjects, maybe artistic, relating to entertainment, or even gambling. The fifth house does rule gambling. Your planet Leo, the sun, is there allowing you to take the lead. Sagittarius is a fellow fire sign, as I've said. And when the sun enters Capricorn on the 22nd, you have the ability to create a more stable foundation, either for yourself or for your family. Yeah. So for Virgo, let's look at Virgo. And Virgo, the new moon is in your fourth house of family, foundation, emotional support, and the past. So here is the new moon, and that's really what it represents, and it is in your fourth house as well. So this definitely could be this hopeful new time of the new moon could be related to your family. It might be related to your past. The fourth house rules the past, or anything that kind of makes you feel safe or better emotionally. Yeah, I don't really like to say safe because, it sounds like, you feel like you're going to trip on your scooter, kind of, right? Or, kind of fall down playing tennis is probably a better way. But this is just about kind of feeling more stable, right? Yeah, more supported, exactly. What makes you feel more secure, sort of. But the sun and the moon in your fourth house, Virgo, is shining the light on what needs to be left behind. What potentially needs balance for you between your personal power versus your emotions or your personal security. The fourth house represents what we need to feel safe, as I have said. And Mercury, your ruling planet, plays a big part with the new moon. Here's Mercury in between, and the sun in Sagittarius, as Mercury sits directly between them. There may have been a decision you've taken quite some time to make, or you've maybe overanalyzed it, Virgo. You guys can be like that. That's why you guys are great at details, right? Yeah. But sure. And so you may have simply, been analyzing something or some matters for some time with your planet in retrograde, right? Mercury opposes Jupiter in Gemini, and here is Mercury opposing Jupiter over here. So here we have more kind of Gemini and Sagittarius energy here, flavoring really your fourth house. That's right, of family and foundation, emotional support, and the past, for sure. And so, and with this opposition, there's something that needs to be joined together when we have this opposition, or balanced out. It may be about something you really want to achieve. It could be a life decision, Virgo. It could be a life-changing decision. So for Libra, the 2-week cycle of the new moon is in your third house. Here you are, Libra, right here. And here is the new moon here. So when we see this, this can be about communication, learning, plans and goals, short-term travel, siblings, and local community. This can be about the neighborhood. It can. It's in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is ruling the 9th house in the natural chart, which is similar to Gemini ruling the 3rd. Because here Gemini is, where are we here? Gemini is, actually Sagittarius is ruling your 3rd, but this is the 3rd house of Gemini for you. It really is. And Mercury is here as well. So this is what I meant by Mercury is ruling it. It is really Sagittarius is ruling your 3rd house. But Mercury's here again, and the opposition I was talking about is right over here with Gemini, yeah, and with Jupiter. So, and this is very interesting itself. I was talking about that when we were talking about Virgo, but Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. So getting back to this, Libra, right? This can be about learning and travel. Maybe you are learning something. You may be traveling. You could be traveling short or long distance. Sagittarius is about long-term travel. Yes, and Mercury can be about short-term travel as well. So you could be taking a trip, I don't know, far, or, maybe not very far. You could be learning something new. Venus, your ruling planet, is in your 4th house of family, foundation, and emotions. Here's Venus right here in your 4th house. Venus can be about self-care. Maybe you are paying attention to that kind of, possibly with the new moon as well. It's a possibility. Maybe that's more important to you. But Venus has joined forces with Pluto as a hidden conjunction, because Pluto is in actually is in the next house, right? Or in Aquarius here. So this is what we call a hidden conjunction. And Pluto represents the planet of transformation and ordeals. Pluto is in your fifth house. Really, your relationships could be really kind of like you might be really kind of looking at them in a new way. Yeah, there could be a lot going on, as Venus represents love as well. And the fifth house is, although ruled by Aquarius here, this is about love and creativity as well. Love, yes, just like Venus, which is very interesting. And so there could be a lot of change for you in your relationships. And Venus is in trine with Uranus, the planet of the future. So here's Uranus over here in another Earth sign. We see Venus in Capricorn. It's an Earth sign. So this is, this may be about change and the future as well, as it has to do with your relationships or maybe how you relate, right? And so the new moon can have you approaching relationships very differently moving forward. Even how you relate to other people, not so much, maybe not necessarily in relationships. Okay, for Scorpio, the new moon is in your second house of values, Scorpio. And here you are, right? And here is Sagittarius, your second house. It's in your second house of money, values, and resources, and it is flavored here or ruled by Sagittarius. So what this means, this is about your money, your values, but you could be very enthusiastic about something. You may be wanting to take a chance on something that has to do with your money or your values. You may be seeing things from a higher perspective with Sagittarius ruling your second house. And so Mercury is retrograde in your second house. That can have you reevaluating how you value money, how you earn, or just your relationship with money in general. The sun is in your second house, right here. And this can shed clarity about what you believe in, where you are placing your values. And your ruling Pluto has moved into Aquarius on November 19th, where it is direct. Pluto is in your fourth house of family, foundation, and emotional support. Yeah, it is what we call a hidden conjunction with Venus, as I was mentioning earlier. And how you value yourself, Scorpio, can be very significant here, or how you're changing in regard to maybe how you see yourself relative to partnerships, or how you behave in them, or possibly family as well, family matters or family dynamic. And Mars, your ancient ruler, is in your 10th house of ambition. Here's Mars over here. This is your 10th house. Adding to your personal power. Yeah, Leo can be about power and your sexual charisma or prowess. Yeah. And so Mars is opposing Pluto. Here's Mars and here's a Pluto, and they are across from each other. So there's something that needs to come together or come into balance, possibly between family and career, because this fourth house here is opposing the 10th house of career. So yeah, that's usually could definitely be taking place. So for Sagittarius, the new moon is for you. It's in your first house of self. Here you are, Sagittarius. And this is how you identify or how you assert yourself in the world. The sun is in your sign, giving you clarity. The sun shines on you. Ambition, leadership, enthusiasm, and good luck. Anything you focus on now, Sagittarius, can grow. And the sun and moon both will oppose Jupiter, your ruling planet. Jupiter is in Gemini, and here's Jupiter right here in your opposite sign, making that opposition. And so Jupiter in Gemini, and Gemini is ruling your 7th house of relationships. So that's really interesting, right? I mean, I feel like it is, but this is a lucky time to meet someone or expand a current relationship. When we have Jupiter and Gemini, they're not really in dignity, but in this, with this opposition here, there's something here that you're understanding about relationships. Something I believe that you've been able to analyze for a long time with Jupiter and Gemini. It's been in Gemini since May, I believe, of this year. And so, yeah, very interesting. And now Mercury is across. So there's definitely some type of energy about that. It may be a time with that Mercury also opposing Jupiter to reevaluate how you present yourself in relationships and possibly how to create more balance, of course. Mercury is retrograde until the 15th, so anything regarding what's truly important to you will become clear when Mercury goes direct. Chiron is also in a love house. Where is Chiron? Right here. This is in your 5th house, Sagittarius. And so it's retrograde as well, but there's a sextile which offers an opportunity for you to create more balance or expand your relationships, but with a higher perspective. Yeah, that is very cool. And that's what Sagittarius rules and represents, the 9th house of higher perspective. So let's move forward to Capricorn, and the new moon cycle is taking place in your 12th house. Where are you, Capricorn? Here you are. Here is the new moon in the last house before your 1st house. This is your 12th house of endings, intuition, compassion, secrets and fears, and transcendence. Something is ending for you, Capricorn, so you can begin something new. And you may have a clear understanding of what that is, or what you're letting go, basically, with the sun there as well. And so your ruling planet Saturn is in your 3rd house of plans and goals. Here it is. I feel like this is very cool. Capricorn in the 3rd house, or Saturn in the 3rd house, rather. And so it's in the 3rd house of plans, goals, communication, learning, and where are we? And travel, right? For sure. And it's squaring, causing tension with your 12th house of endings, though. So this is making you kind of sit up and face something here. Especially when we see Capricorn in Pisces. This is your 3rd house ruled by Pisces, but Capricorn in Pisces can mean like a reality check, like stop kind of dreaming or over fantasizing about something. And it's pushing you to make some type of decision or take action, or at least accept that something kind of needs to change, or you need to look at it in a different way. All right. So you may have had a little worry about something, or maybe you have worried about something, but you feel the sense of being realistic and not bothering to worry. I feel like you are feeling that. Excuse me, you guys. And so Saturn is in a tense position with Mercury in Sagittarius. Here's Saturn again, and the square is this 90-degree configuration. And so when we see a square, we see tension, and really we see the tension because this is in a water sign, Pisces, and Mercury down here is in a fire sign. So this is the tension basically that we are seeing here. And Jupiter is squaring Saturn right here. Here's Jupiter squaring your planet Saturn. And you know that a decision or a full analysis of something needs your attention. And I mentioned that. But Saturn is in trine with the natural IC, and Saturn is here. Where is the natural IC in this reading? Where is it? It's right here. So this is very cool. This is the 4th house, and then we see the 7th over here. But this is not your 7th house here, Capricorn. This is no, it's not. This is your 2nd house in Aquarius. But down here, let's look at what's really important here. We see this Saturn is in a trine. Saturn is here, and we see the trine here with the little triangle. And this is very favorable here because we have Saturn in Pisces, a water sign, and it is trining the IC in another water sign, which is Scorpio. This is powerful and making your life easier. It could be making a decision easier, possibly. And this is in your 11th house of the future. Yeah, where is that here? Actually, yeah, this is in your 11th house of the future. This trine is affecting you in your 11th house. It can be about surprises sometimes, and unexpected events. But I feel like you are understanding here that a decision or a full analysis of something is helping you move forward easier and better. So let's look at Aquarius now. And so for Aquarius, the new moon cycle is happening in your 11th house. And where are you, Aquarius? A little electrical sign. Basically, here is your planet over here, Uranus, which is an antenna, in my opinion. So this is all about kind of your frequency. We know that Aquarius is related to the internet. We know that And so the new moon cycle is in your 11th house. And here is your 11th house right here of the future. And you are related to the future because you are the natural ruler of the 11th house. So there's something hopeful for you, Aquarius, that either brings happiness or simply brings an understanding, a clarity of such. And your ruling planet, Uranus, the planet of surprises over here and unexpected events, is in your 4th house of family, foundation, and the past. This could be you actually kind of changing your values about really kind of what kind of makes you feel more secure or kind of supports you emotionally. And so, yeah, the moon is in conjunct with Uranus. And where is the moon? Here. And here's the in conjunction here. But we see it right here. And this in conjunct can sometimes suggest that you have been procrastinating something, or perhaps that you don't see something, like you're unaware of a small detail. That could be happening, and it may have to do with something you don't know that you don't know, right? And sometimes we say, I don't know, but sometimes we're not aware that we don't know something. Yeah. And so my point is, you may not have the full picture on something. But this is still good for you. It definitely is, because we have the new moon in your 11th house of the future. So that's very favorable for you. And so for Pisces, the new moon is in your 10th house of career, ambition, and reputation. And so you could be thinking quite a bit about your career or your work, or maybe how you want to be seen in the world. The 10th house also represents the father. Maybe you're thinking about your father. It seems it can be about authority figures as well. This is why we say the father as well. It seems that you're trying your best to see things clearly, Pisces, and not see them as quite emotional. Your ruling planet, Neptune, is in your 1st house. Where is Neptune? Here it is. And is in your 1st house in a hidden conjunction with the North Node of fate, right here in your 2nd house of money and values. This conjunction, Pisces, where Neptune, your ruling planet, has joined forces with the North Node of fate and destiny, also known as the North Node of representing your higher self and what you are striving to become, is really supporting you right now at this time about your work, or possibly how your reputation, or how you want to be seen in the world, as I said. And so the Neptune North Node conjunction is helping you to strive for your dreams, to go for your dreams, using your innate creativity, because Pisces is very creative, and we know that. And using your creativity, your intuition, and your emotions to inspire and guide you. There's a very mystical and magical tone here, Pisces. So yeah, thank you so much, you guys, for joining me. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I hope that was helpful, and I'll be back with another video. Hit the little red bell it's just a bell, right? It's not red. Hit the little bell in order to receive all my notifications. Thank you so much.